NET Sports brings you all of the action for the NSAA High School Swimming and Diving Championships next Saturday, live from the Bob Devaney Sports Center in Lincoln. Championships begin at 11 a.m. Central on NET. A live webcast also available at our website and also on the NET Nebraska app. Getting ready now for the Class B State Championship between the Pius 10th Thunderbolts and the Hastings Senior High Tigers. This should be a good one. Let's take a look at the starting lineups for these two teams. We'll start with the Thunderbolts from Pius the 10th. Matt Conrad is the head coach. Maddie Conrad, the junior leader of this team. Claire Jaros is a senior, also a leader. Lauren Berkey on the lane leader, really helping her teammates. Piana Raven, the sophomore. Justine Goodwin is a junior. Emily Miller and Anna Winnekamp, also a junior. That's a look at the two-time defending champion Pius 10 Thunderbolts. Here's another former two-time champ, the Hastings Tigers. Kent Rothfuss is the head coach. Bethany Gettison is a senior. In fact, this is a senior-laden lineup. Up and down the lineup, Julian Detman, Ashley Sharp, Liz Gleason, Natalia Kleijon, and Anastasia Meyer. That's the lineup for the Tigers. Should be a good one. Class B title on the line when we come back to Sun Valley Lanes here in Lincoln.
Funding for the NHSBF State Championships was provided by the Lincoln Bowling Association through grants from the Alan and Marcia Baer Foundation and the Nebraska High School Bowling Federation. Reminding you that more than 1,000 high school students compete statewide in varsity bowling.
We buy smartphones. We buy clothes. We buy game consoles and TVs, tickets to movies, concerts, and sporting events. It's kind of funny. We buy all these things to make us happy, when really all we need is each other. A place where we can all connect and get away for a while. Wouldn't that be nice?
Just underway here, Sun Valley Lanes in Lincoln, and right away, Lauren Berkey starts it out for the Thunderbolts with a strike. Back at Sun Valley Lanes here in Lincoln. Thunderbolts on the board with the strike by Lauren Berkey. Crossover there. Let's look at Emily Miller, the senior. Shot by Emily, ooh, through the nose. Leaves the Greek Church, 3 on the right, 2 on the left. Here's Bethany Gettison. Trying to lead him off with the spare, and does. So good start also for the Tigers from Hastings. Pius 10th, the two-time state champions. They've won 3 titles in the last 5 years. Here is Emily Miller. Solid game. Miller tries to get 3 and does the hard way.
That's one way to go about it.
You have a little bit of a run there to get the 3, especially on a strike. Those are important pins. 3 is actually worth 6 there on the strike. Here's a backup ball, crosses over. Shot by Ashley Sharp. Ashley, as all of these Tigers are seniors. This is a senior-laden Tiger squad. Justine Goodwin. Justine, a junior, has really improved throughout the year. Great shot there, comes in high and gets the carry. Nice shot by Justine, and her improvement this year has been significant. She's really learned to relax that arm swing. She's a ball player, so really firing through that at the lower half, and she's really learned to kind of let the ball do the work, let that momentum carry the ball, and really improved.
That's an important shift to make.
Absolutely. Claire Jaros. Claire is a senior for the Thunderbolts, part of that state championship team last year. Good fundamentals, crosses over. 139, some work left to do for Claire.
Claire carries a 3.9 GPA and scored an impressive 33 on the ACT.
Wow.
Not bad.
33.
33.
Here's Anastasia Meyer for Hastings. Averages 127. Very deliberate up the boards. This will cross over and try to catch. Rattles around. Got all but the head pin as she spins back around to take a look. So just one pin left for Anastasia. Here is Claire on the spare conversion. And that came up a bit high. Chopped the one off of the three. So the Thunderbolts with 2 opens in the first 4 frames, but also 2 strikes. This is where you say spares are so important, because Hastings, without a strike, an opportunity to take the lead if they can just mark in these next 2 frames. And there is one. Here's Maddie Conrad. Maddie just a junior, solid player, great fundamentals.
Maddie carries a 170 average this season.
Julian Detman crosses over, leaves the 6 pin. Good shot by Conrad, and you can really see those fundamentals. Good deep knee bend, follows through the shot.
Absolutely, and that cross lane approach is really helpful. Gives you a little room for error.
Right. So Detman here will try to go cross lane and convert to take the lead, and just slides by. That would have given them the lead. Instead, it's a 1-pin game, essentially an even game as we head to the 5th for Hastings. And this is Liz Gleason, the high average bowler on the team. She averages 156. That's going to need to get up the hill, and it does, and leaves a 2-pin. Hastings has won a couple of state championships. They won it back in 2011 and also 2013. They are 2-time Class B champs. They lost in the state championship back in 2015 to Pius, so this is a rematch of that state championship just 2 years ago when Pius knocked off Hastings. And a good cover there by Gleason. So that means we'll head to the 6th. We'll switch lanes here in Class B, all even. Hastings, when they won it back in 2013, knocked off Waverly, and they also beat York in 2011. Pius' state championships the last 2 years have come over Waverly. Last year, 3-0 at Hastings. Bolts also back in 2012 won it with a win over Waverly. Anybody's game here early on in the crosses over, gets that 10 out, and that's key for Gettison. So here is Lauren Berkey, senior for the Thunderbolts. Leaders on the lane, Coach Conrad says.
Lauren comes from a bowling family for sure.
Absolutely. In fact, her uncle used to coach you.
I know him.
Her uncle is, she gets it, 2 strikes there for Lauren Berkey. Her uncle is Bill Straub, the University of Nebraska women's bowling coach. He used to be the men's coach too when I was there. I bowled for Coach Straub as well back in the 80s. I just shouldn't have said that, should I? I should have said a while ago. So Pius has taken a lead and can really extend that lead here with a double by Emily Miller. Good shot, it's going to be around the pocket, and she got the carry. Big double for Emily Miller.
Ashley Sharp up for Hastings has been on the honor roll since 6th grade.
Hey, she follows that up with a strike as well. Nice shot by Ashley Sharp. Here is Justine Goodwin. And you can see how kind of pushes and lets that arm swing. Great reaction, good back in, and she puts a 3-bagger up for the Bolts. Trying trying to separate themselves, and Anastasia Meyer needs to answer right here. If they could double up, this would be key instead. Going to have some work left on that left-hand lane. Here's Jaros up on lane 28.
Great shot.
And that is 4 in a row for the Thunderbolts. They're coming out striking here in game number 1. Has a chance. Good cover. Got that head pin to kick off the wall and take out that 10 pin. That was a must spare. Now, Conrad trying to make it 5 in a row. Ooh, that's in. Comes in high.
Break.
Good shot there. No smile. 7-9, never an easy conversion, but they had a big lead, and at this point, Hastings is going to have to punch out to give themselves a chance. Must strike here. Comes in high, and that will do it. Game number 1 will go to the Thunderbolts. 169 is the best that Hastings can shoot now, and Pius already in the clubhouse with a 188. So 188 for Pius in game number 1. The Bolts will take a 1-zip lead on the Tigers. These two teams certainly know each other well. I wouldn't say that throughout history they've been some of the strongest Class B teams on the girls' side, but in the last 4 or 5 years, either Hastings or Pius has won the title all but 1 year.
And both veteran teams.
Right.
Hastings has all seniors, Pius has all juniors and seniors.
Right.
So they've got some experience.
So in the last 7 years, including this year, only Waverly has been able to crack a state championship in Class B. So it's really been Pius or Hastings, and they haven't always squared off against each other. In fact, that's only happened once, but they've both been here. They've both been in the discussion and conversation for years. And both programs continue to be strong. So game number 1 goes to the Bolts. 188-145. A 1-zip lead for Pius. And there it is from game number 1.
Bethany Gittison is going to start for Hastings. She comes from a bowling family as well. Her stepdad has bowled for 49 years, and her stepbrother has bowled for 21 years.
Wow.
Lifelong sport.
Leaves the 3-9, the sleeper back there, so she'll want to hook at that a bit, or if she's going to go straight at it, certainly go cross lane. Make sure she covers that 9 on the backside. Here is Lauren Berkey. Lauren has a twin brother, Martin. Martin Berkey bowls for the boys team, and you'll see Martin next week when the Pius 10th boys take on York for a state title. That crossed over. She got the 10 pin out, leaves the 3.
Lauren is off to the University of Nebraska-Lincoln in the fall, and she's going to major in mechanical engineering.
Gettison trying to cover them both. Great shot by Bethany Gettison. One of the leaders of that Hastings team is Gettison. Now Berkey will try to answer.
She is laser focused on that spot on the lane that she wants to hit the ball.
Finishes strong and covers it up. So both teams with spares in the first frame. Comes in a bit light, leaves the 1-3. Trailer tries to kick out that head pin, but does not get it. Emily Miller now for Pius. Pius 10th led by Matt Conrad. He's the head coach. He's been coaching for about 3 years now with the Thunderbolts. Was the top assistant for the previous coach, Rod Mahacek, who won a couple of state titles with the girls. A nice job this year with this girls program. They're really improving throughout the year as that takes the head pin off the 3. It's really tough for this Pius 10th girls program to kind of break through, as it has been for Hastings. Kind of in the early 2000s, they had some great teams that were always kind of there, went undefeated during the season. They would get to the quarterfinals or the semifinals, and something would, you know, kind of jump up and catch you. As we said, Baker Bowling is kind of the great equalizer. Anything can happen in these kind of matches. Crosses over, leaves the 3-9. But when they finally broke through, they've won a couple in the last 2 years. So looking now to make it 3 straight state championships. And no girls Class B team has ever won 3 in a row. So this would be a new record for Class B.
Justine noted that one of the strengths that she has in her game is her spares, and she stays confident. Even when things get tough, she uses that mental strength to her advantage.
Sit right there, it'll get it. Just hooked right at the end, a bit too much for Anastasia. Thought maybe she had covered that up. So back-to-back opens here for Hastings in the 2nd and 3rd. And if Justine can capitalize here, they'll open up a 20-pin lead. Good shot, and she covered.
And her spare.
Detman now.
She's another one who's been on the honor roll since 6th grade.
6th grade?
Since 6th grade.
How about that? Yeah, it's got to push. It does, but still leaves that 4-7. The strengths of both of these teams has been their spare shooting. And there you see Hastings, in fact, Kent Rothfuss, the head coach of the Hastings Tigers in his 2nd year with a career record of 12-6. He said the team strength of this Tiger team is their ability to pick up spares, and their downfall sometimes is not trusting themselves. And certainly in this environment, that can lend to that type of questioning. You just have to be confident. Get up the hill. And leaves the washout.
Spares are so key. It's so key to get that pin count. You're not going to strike every time, but if you can just stay clean, that can make all the difference.
Maddie crosses over, gets the carry. Maddie Conrad with the strike. Needing an answer here from Gleason. Need to get over and cover this, and unfortunately that only gets 2 of the 4 and is now 3 opens in the last 5 frames for Hastings, and the Thunderbolts are clean through the first 5. We talked about the importance of spare shooting, and especially in these type of environments and situations where you're going to be naturally just a little bit tentative.
Absolutely.
Because of the lights and the camera, and you see the crowd here.
It's a different environment than what you're used to. You're used to it being noisy and seeing other balls going down the lane and cheers, and all of a sudden you're in this situation where all eyes are on you. It can really make a big difference.
Berkey now up on the left lane, lane number 27. This is the home house for the Thunderbolts, and Berkey slams that one home, gets the carry.
She liked that one.
Big double for Pius. They throw that double on open on top of Hastings, and answering back is the leadoff bowler, Beth Gettison.
Watch Emily's wrist on that shot. This shot, she does a really, really nice job of keeping her wrist solid and keeping her hand underneath the ball.
passes it. Leaves the 6-10. Here, Coach Conrad, pick up our spares. Stay clean. Ashley Sharp brings this one back in, needs the double. Send it over there and cannot get the 10 to fall. That would have been a big double for Hastings, which is down by 42, 102 to 60 in the fifth. Both of them working on strikes in that sixth frame, and now both with an opportunity to convert makeable spares here in the seventh. And that falls off and opens the door for Hastings. First open there for Pius comes in the seventh frame. Proprietor here at Sun Valley Lanes is John Lucido. John has been the commissioner of the Nebraska High School Bowling Federation for 15 years. And there you see John in the background there, sitting on kind of that throne-like looking chair. He demanded from his staff to put up he asked for a scepter also.
Did he?
Yeah, he couldn't get the scepter. And then he had a crown earlier. It was maybe a Burger King crown, I think.
Okay.
But he had it on. You'll see John here in the background.
Tips it off to the side a little bit.
Yeah.
Wears it with style.
That's right. But John and his staff just do a terrific job here at Sun Valley Lanes and hosting these state championships every year. There aren't many centers across the state who would take that kind of time and effort and dedication to put this on for the students and for the betterment of high school bowling in the state of Nebraska. This actually, back in 2007, was the first ever televised arena finals in the country for high school bowling, and it has been the case every year since 2007.
It's an exciting thing for high school bowling.
Absolutely.
You know, one of the things you'll notice if you ever come out to a high school tournament is the fan support. The parents are here, siblings, aunts, uncles, cousins, people drive from all over to come watch these events, and they're so proud of their players, they're respectful of opponents. It's really a great atmosphere.
Well, Pius has gone back-to-back opens here and really gave Hastings an opportunity, but unfortunately the Tigers have missed back-to-back single pins and really allowed Pius to regain or continue to hold on to control of this second game. You see they're up by 37 pins now with just 2 pins left, and this is almost a must strike here for Hastings. Cross it over, need the carry, and they got it. That's a big shot, especially with your anchor bowler coming up and you have an opportunity to string some together, put a little pressure on Pius right here. So now an important response for Claire Jaros. Good follow through, good finish, and just slides by the 9, and that might open the door enough here. Another must strike here. Certainly Pius still in command and in control, but a strike here would really help Hastings. Big shot by the anchor bowler for Hastings. So Liz Gleason gives her team a little bit of momentum.
She talked about that her strength is knowing the lanes, knowing how to play the lanes, and she's coming through for her team.
That was a big shot by Maddie Conrad, but now Maddie must spare to win this game if Liz Gleason strikes here. So if Gleason can strike right here, she will force Pius to spare, and does not get the 10 out, and so that will do it. 146 is the best that Hastings can have, and already Pius with 152 in the books. So the spare, a moot point now, and thank goodness it's a moot point because it slides by the 10 pin. 152 in game number 2 for Pius, and Hastings will look back at that one in game number 2 and say, oh my goodness, we had opportunities with a 9 miss, 6-3, 8-1, 8-1. 5 missed spares for the Tigers, and Pius now on top, 2 games to none. And you see Coach Rothfuss bringing them together and saying, all right, ladies, you know what the message is here. We're a great spare shooting team, and we just need to convert.
Absolutely.
Crowd getting into it here at Sun Valley Lanes in Lincoln as we head to what could be a deciding third game. Pius on top, 2 games to none. It's the best of 5 Baker. Want to remind you, a great opportunity to pick up a DVD of these state high school championships. Just go to NHSBF.com and follow the prompts, and you can pick up a DVD of these state high school bowling championships.
And, as each team huddled up there, I would imagine the Thunderbolts are talking about, let's not get ahead of ourselves. There's still a lot of bowling left to go here. Anything can happen in these bigger matches, and we're up 2-0, but we've got to just continue to take it one shot at a time. It can be easy in this situation to get ahead of yourself a little bit.
Absolutely. Two of these Pius players made first team All-State based on their scores from yesterday. The qualifying rounds, 8 teams got here to state, 8 teams trying to earn their way to this championship match, but only 2 made it. That was Pius and Hastings, obviously. The Maddie Conrad finished second in the medalist honor, so first team All-State for Maddie Conrad, who shot .532. Claire Jaros, also from Pius, finishing third with a .489 and actually tied with Beth Gittison with a .489. So those two finished tied for third. And one other Pius bowler made second team All-State, and that's this young lady right here, Lauren Berkey.
Coach Conrad said she's always coaching the other girls. She's definitely the leader on the team.
Tries to cross this over and chops that 2-pin off the head pin. This is what you want to do if you're Hastings right now, is convert this spare, put a little pressure on the Bolts, who really haven't had much pressure yet, and unfortunately they aren't able to do that. This can be such a mental game.
Absolutely.
Right? How much pressure can we put on the other team? Can we make them uncomfortable? Can we have them look up at the scoreboard and think, oh, I have to do something extra because we're behind? Just really important to pick up those spares early in a game.
Well, I'm thinking about ways to take advantage of the other team's mistakes. If they leave an open, we've got to close ours out and stay clean.
Right. Well, it wasn't a cakewalk to this state finals for either one of these teams. Hastings knocked off Seward in the quarterfinals, 3-2. They actually won that last match, 155 to 126 to advance. Then in the semifinals, as that misses the 10-pin as well. In the semifinals, Hastings knocked off Grand Island Northwest, 147 to 127. Hastings won 3-2. Hastings moved on after beating Grand Island Northwest. And both teams now 2 opens here to open up game number 3. This is a bit painful to watch.
Justine struck both of her frames the first game, so if she can bring that back around, and this was the lane she was on.
Crosses over. And did you see the difference there between the way she finished that shot? There was a little more push through it as opposed to the nice push, relaxed arm swing. And what happened? It went offline, right?
Yep.
Just pulled it a little bit. So important to keep that nice loose arm swing. Good shot here, crossing over. And got that 10-pin out of there. That's a big shot for the Tigers. So the Tigers are used to going 5, right? I mean, the first 2 they won, the quarterfinals and semis, were both 5-game Baker matches, but Pius went 5 in both of its matches as well. In fact, they trailed Lexington, as that slides by, they trailed Lexington 2-1 and came back and won games number 4 and 5 to advance. And then they were up on Waverly 2-zip. Waverly came back and tied it at 2-2 before Pius went on a roll and shot 183 in that final game to knock off Waverly and advance here to the finals. So both of these teams have seen their share of kind of the stressful moments late in games. One of the things you have to do too, as an athlete and a bowler or athlete, is you have to stay in the moment.
Absolutely.
And so many times, I think this may be a result right now of Pius thinking, oh my gosh, we're a game away from winning a state title.
Absolutely.
And we're trying to do something extra. We're allowing those other thoughts to enter our head, and all of a sudden, we were almost clean last game, and now we have 3 consecutive opens.
It's easy to let those thoughts sneak in and forget about the fact that you just have to make a good shot.
Right.
You are in control of yourself. And it's your job to just hit your mark, throw a good ball.
That is the first spare for Pius in the last 8 frames. They had 7 consecutive opens before that stopped the bleeding. That comes in a bit high, cannot trip the 4. And on the strength of that, Hastings has been able to open up now a 10-pin advantage. Here's Claire Jaros, who will try to add to the pin count. Doesn't quite finish and leaves
a mess.
Yeah, 247. That's not an easy conversion. This is an important spare here. And in this game, momentum is so important, right? And you need the momentum. You want to ride the momentum. And right now, momentum has switched benches.
Absolutely, and you're looking for a player who can just make that shift for you. Somebody who can get a good strike, pick up a spare, something to just turn the tide for everybody.
You can see right there the conversation between Matt Conrad and Maddie Conrad, wondering if they needed a ball change or just a move right, as neither one of those shots finished. We could be getting here early on a little bit of carry down. Right, we might getting it oil pushing down the lane, which means your break point is a little later, which means you either need to move right or make a ball change. Do something to stay ahead of the moves.
And you saw Pius huddle there. They know they need to regroup mentally a little bit here.
Crosses over, leaves a tough 3-9. Here's Lauren Berkey. Started off hot here in the match. A couple of strikes early for Berkey. That needs to get up, and it does, and she slaps that 10 out. So she struck 4 times in her 6 shots. It's a good percentage. She struck her first 2 shots, then a 9 spare and a strike. Split last time, but follows it up with another strike. She has been their hot hand. That will cut into that Hastings lead. So now a 10-pin lead for Hastings unless Emily Miller can strike. If she strikes here in doubles, we have an even match here in the 3rd. Good shot. A little high and leaves that 4-pin.
Emily is heading to Nebraska Wesleyan University in the fall. She's going to major in chemistry. Carries a 3.5 GPA.
Important shot here for Miller. And needs to get it, it does. Good conversion.
She's another one who does the nice job of using the whole lane for those corner pin spares, starting on the right side of the lane to hit a left side spare, and vice versa. When she's got a 10 pin to pick up, she heads over to the left side of the lane and uses all of it.
And picked one off. So back-to-back opens for Hastings, and we are back to a nearly even game. In fact, it will be dead even if Goodwin can strike right here.
Justine started bowling in high school. This is only her 3rd year bowling.
Yep. So here's Meyer now, Anastasia Meyer. Three-pin lead for Hastings. Much easier spare than what Justine is looking at right now. And an opportunity to extend that lead for the Tigers.
This is one where you hope for the spare, but you make sure you get the count.
Right.
You need those 2
Gotta
pins.
have 2. Ooh. Meyer looking to convert. Well, that could have really opened it up. Instead, it's a 5-pin lead as we head to the last 2 frames. And Pius looking for a state title. Hastings looking to extend this. Jaros, good rotation, needs it to hook, and it doesn't. A bit too far inside, and she probably let it down a little too far inside, and just too much skid. Detman now. Crosses over. Who's going to make a shot here? I think that's the question here. And you see Matt Conrad quickly up off the chair, helping her move, probably saying you can't just make a 4-0 move here because it did come in so light. You probably need to either go 5-0 or move your feet and your eyes right in order to give this a chance.
Yep, catch that 1-2 and try to get the 1 to head on over and take the 10-pin out.
Good coaching move to get up off the bench and talk about it. And she nailed it. What a shot.
Nice spare. And in a moment like this, too.
So big. So a huge spare there in the 9th, and it makes this one even more important for Detman.
When you talk about turning the momentum, it's shots like that that can really do wonders for the mental side of the game.
And Julia Detman covers it up. That's big as well. Yeah, absolutely.
Some of those big spares like that, especially ones that you maybe weren't expecting to make because they're trickier spares.
So we come down to the 10th frame. It's a 5-pin Hastings lead. Maddie Conrad. Looks like she did make a ball change. Does she get the back in? She does, but cannot get that 7-pin out. Made the ball change, got the reaction she wanted, just couldn't get the 7-pin to go. And now Liz Gleason with a strike. Can wrap it up? No. So it's going to come down to who can pick up their spares here in the 10th. Obviously, Hastings has control here. If Hastings picks up the spare and gets 6, it wins. So it really comes down to this spare right here by Liz Gleason. This to extend the match. And you see Anastasia in the background with fingers crossed. A look upward, and it paid off.
I've had those moments before where you just couldn't watch.
That's right.
You just had to listen. Did they cheer?
That was a big one. So now Conrad needs 10 to force Hastings to get 6, and that much better reaction there. And so now Pius finishes with a 132, so Hastings needs just 5 pins here, and we'll go to a 4th game. 5 for the win. That'll do it. So the Tigers take game number 3. Let's see if that gives them a bit of momentum. The Bolts win the first 188 to 145, the second 52 to 45, and Hastings wins the third 136 to 132.
You know, Pius started with a 188, dropped to 152, then dropped again to a 132. They've got to make some changes so that they can get those scores back up to where they want them to be.
Talk about first team All-State. There it is. You see Maddie Conrad, Claire Jaros both on the first team for Pius. Beth Geddison of Hastings also on the first team. And that based on the competition that happened yesterday in the qualifying round. The way they got here was both 4 qualifying games. They were seeded 1 through 8, and then it went into a single elimination bracket, best of 5 Baker format. So you win 5, or you win 3, you move on. And that's what got him here to the arena finals today.
Lawrence had a high game of 256. Not bad for a 164 average.
Yeah, no kidding.
Pretty good.
A little too far outside there. No damage, makeable spare here for Lauren. Now Geddison will try to convert. And a good cover by Beth Geddison.
Beth's got a brother named Kyle who's getting deployed next year.
Ah,
I'm sure she's hoping to close out with a state championship to send him on his way.
no kidding. Now Berkey will try to convert. And too much hook there. Slides by. Or hooks by. Crossover and cannot get the 10 out. But a good shot by Ashley Sharp. Ashley's really worked hard to improve her spare shooting over the last year. Has been part of the reason that Coach Rothfuss feels confident, saying this is a good spare shooting team. Millard a bit high, leaves the 4-pin.
And, you know, we talked about how involved the fans are in bowling, but these athletes are also very involved in other things as well. Things like choir, marching band, color guard, volleyball,
right.
Honor roll, drawing, painting. They get good grades, are involved in a lot of things in their community and in their school. Emily looking for the spare.
And a good cover.
Anastasia is a senior who's heading off to the College of Hair Design in the fall. She wants to be a cosmetologist and an esthetician.
Better shot here by Justine, who slaps the 10 out, and another strike for Justine Goodwin.
She's found her spot back.
Yeah.
She hasn't struck since the first game.
Right.
She's got it back.
Much better shot. Anastasia Meyer now tries to keep pace here. An important spare conversion here, right on track. Needs to kick that in. Good shot. Good cover by Meyer. You know, earlier this weekend, we had state high school finals going on all across the capital city in Lincoln. Hollywood Bowl, Parkway Lanes, both hosting state high school championships in different classes. They hosted them here at Sun Valley as well, and then the winners all converged here at Sun Valley for the girls' state high school championships. Obviously, the boys' state high school championships coming up on NET next weekend. But as part of those ceremonies and as part of the event this weekend, the annual Commissioner's Award was handed out. The Commissioner's Award is given to someone who has contributed to the advancement of bowling across the state of Nebraska at the high school level, who helps these students, and it's been given in the past to John Lucido and other coaches around the state, board members who've just done a really terrific job of giving of their time and their money and their effort to improve the sport of bowling for high schoolers. And this weekend it was given to Ted and Kathy Bear, who've been terrific supporters of the Nebraska High School Bowling Federation. So congratulations to Ted and Kathy Bear for receiving the Commissioner's Award.
And thank you for all of their support of bowling. Bowling is a lifelong sport, and it's something that we want to honor and continue to cultivate.
A lot of pins on the deck on both lanes, but not all 10. 2-pin game. And as we said, this is going to come down to spare shooting.
Absolutely.
Who's going to make the spares? And Maddie Conrad will convert.
And it's something, you know, when you're practicing,
yeah,
to not just be practicing hitting the pocket, but shoot some 7 pins, shoot some 10 pins. Try to hit the 2-pin without hitting the head pin, just to work on your accuracy.
Right.
And can you make the ball do what you want the ball to do?
So many different ways that coaches set up their practice to help improve the spare shooting of their athletes, and specific drills and fundamental drills and team drills and pressure drills.
Absolutely.
To help you perform in these key moments. And I know both of these coaches have done that with their teams. Matt Conrad has his players line the alley and stare at the player as they go up and bowl, and try to get you out of your comfort zone when you're up on the approach in the lane, to maybe stress you a little bit to see if you can perform under pressure.
You want moments like this to just muscle memories. Have your body do the thing that it knows to do, and not let your mind play tricks with you.
Big shot there by Lauren Berkey. Tack that onto that spare in the 5th frame, and that extends the Bolts lead now to 13 pins. Important one here for Bethany Gettison. Right through, but was able to get that 7-pin out to avoid the split. So that'll bring up Emily Miller. Good fundamental game for Miller. And she also gets that 7-pin out late. Avoids the split. See Gettison's eyes scanning up and down the lane, and a nice spare conversion by Gettison.
Emily started falling into a rhythm with her spares. Hopefully she can keep that going.
Needs to hook and slides off the right side. Just missed a bit right.
I hope I did jinx her.
It's going to tighten it up a bit. It's the broadcaster's jinx. It happens every time. Adam crossover, but does not clip the head pin, but still an opportunity to pick up a spare and cut into that Pius lead. A spare here would cut the Bolts lead to just 2 pins.
You know, we talked about bowling being a lifelong sport, but it's also one you can pick up at any time. Ashley is a senior in high school and has only been bowling for 2 years, and here she is bowling for her high school in a state championship match. That's one of the neat things about, there's not many sports where you can pick it up in high school and be on the varsity team bowling for a state title.
Hang on, got it the hard way. 1 into the 2, into the 8, and the 1-2-8's gone. That was a big spare conversion. It cuts that Pius lead potentially down to just 2 pins. And now Justine doesn't want to go back-to-back opens, so she tries to cross it. That is 2 washout conversions for the Thunderbolts. And both times you saw Coach Matt Conrad pulling his player over, giving very specific instructions. Where do you move? Where do you stand? Where do you look? And the players executed.
You know, and as a player, in moments like this, you want somebody to just tell you what to do.
Absolutely. I have too much going on in my mind right now.
Too much going on. I just need to make my body do the thing it needs to do. Tell me where to throw it.
That was a big shot for Hastings right there. They do now cut it down to just 2 pins. Here's Claire Jaros. Crosses over and leaves that 9-pin. Even bigger shot upcoming here for Hastings. A strike here, and they take the lead. Julian Detman, the senior. Crossover. Rattles it and does not get it to fall. Well, that went from almost a split to almost a strike that quickly. And now, as we said, it's all about who's going to convert. Very smooth finish and follow through, and nice conversion by Jaros. That was big in that moment. Now an equally important shot upcoming for Detman. He needs to win. Send this to a 5th and final game. A Pius win, and the Bolts are 3-time state champs. Keep pushing out. Good, nice roll and good conversion.
You know, we like to think that the 10-pin is one of the easier spares to make, but in a situation like this, it can be one of the hardest spares to make.
Absolutely. So both on spares, both need good count. Crosses over. I got the good count and an easy spare left, but now a chance for Liz Gleason to make this a dead even match with a strike right here. All knotted if she strikes. Climb the hill, good shot. Does not get the 10 to go. And it really does come down to who's going to pick up the spares. Spare by Maddie Conrad would force Hastings to spare. And it slides by. 160 for Pius. Right now, Hastings has 159. Liz must pick this up or the season's over. And that, friends, is pressure.
It's a tough thing to do. Good for her.
What a terrific shot in a key moment for Liz Gleason.
This is one of those games that reminds you as a bowler the importance of practicing your spares.
Absolutely. 6 will do it. So Hastings has come from behind. They were 2-zip down, and now the momentum clearly on the side of the Tigers. Which team will pick up the spares and respond here in game number 5? This is our first 5-game Baker match of the day. Earlier today, it was Plainview 3-zip over St. Cecilia and Adams Central 3-zip over Boone Central. This is going to 5. Good conversation there at the ball return by...
Friendly moment.
Yeah. Beth Geddison and Lauren Berkey having a quick conversation. Pius won the first and the second. Hastings has come back and taken the third and the fourth. And Lauren Berkey says, somebody's got to step up and make a shot. It might as well be me. Now Geddison tries to answer. And she does. Big shot by Geddison.
It's a moment of relief in matches like this where this is the deciding game and you throw your strike and oh, whew, okay.
Right.
I did my job.
Miller comes up light. Smile hides the nervousness, I believe, for both of these teams. Slides by, misses this head pin. And now an opportunity for Hastings to put the pressure on early. Ashley Sharp. Does it stay on? It does. Big spare by Sharp.
She went about that the hard way.
Yeah. It was right up the boards on the left-hand side. Not the way you draw it up, typically. It worked.
Sometimes those nerves just get to you.
Yep, absolutely.
But very makeable spare.
So Anastasia now. A chance to extend that Hastings lead. Crosses over. Oh, that's a bad break. 5-10. So nothing hurt here for Justine, or no mark, so if she can just pick this up, should be fine. And nearly does. 37 in the third for Pius 10.
So as a coach, what do you tell her to do? Do you tell her to go for the pin?
No, I'm getting one. We've had a couple of close games. Getting one pin, right? Are you going for it?
Get the count. She might make it. Oh,
she did!
She makes
what
it.
a shot!
She's excited. Something flew off.
I think when you have the lead, and it was a great shot, and she likely was trying to get one. When you have the lead, you want to extend that lead, take the pin, your opponent just opened. But that was a huge shot on the 5-10 conversion for Anastasia Meyer. There, Jaros answers with a strike, but Hastings has now extended their lead to 21 pins. We are tied at 2 in this, the 5th and deciding Baker game here in Class B. She's going to get up the hill and leaves the 10.
And what an emotional roller coaster this can be. Hastings started off down 2-0, right? And now they started off feeling like, oh gosh, it's running away from us, and then feeling like the tide was turning towards them.
Here's the anchor bowler for Pius, Maddie Conrad, looking for a double, and got it. Big double for Pius when they're down by 20. Now Detman picked up a 10-pin just a bit ago in a crucial situation. Needs that to hang on, and it just slides off.
She's been consistent with her spares. She had an open in the first game, but otherwise she's been filling frames.
So with that open and the double by Pius, the Thunderbolts regain the lead, or have evened it up, not regain the lead yet. That's a good shot. That's 10 in the pit. And one final time here in the Class B State Championship, the two teams up off the bench, switch sides, and we will have a state champ here in 5 frames. What an exciting one here at Sun Valley Lanes.
It's a moment, too, where you got to check your emotions. We've got 2 seniors who are going to be throwing the next shots, and it's going to be their last shot in college bowling. And so they've got to kind of keep everything under control.
Absolutely. John Lucido, the commissioner, there he is, commissioner of the Nebraska High School Bowling Federation. He commanded everyone to build him that throne. It did have big things off the back of it. He had a crown on previously.
I believe I said college bowling. Last shot in high school bowling.
Right. That came in a bit light. Leaves the 8-10. And now Lauren Berkey, who started off this game with a strike and has been the most effective bowler for Pius here today. She has struck 5 times in her 10 shots. If she could strike here, it would be a 3-bagger for the Bolts. Strong up the lanes and did not get the 6 out. So we're all even. This is a dead even game, 66 apiece in the 4th. Both teams on a strike in the 5th. And gave it a run there, but an opportunity now for Pius to regain the lead if Berkey can convert the spare. You see the deep breath. Oh, they feel these moments.
Berkey's another strong student. She's got a 3.89 GPA. She's in the National Honor Society, on the honor roll, in the Air Force JROTC.
Yeah.
Very involved at Pius.
You see the big deep breath out, and the focus and concentration. Taking a little extra time, knows the importance of this, and it slides just by. So Pius with a 2-pin lead in the 6th frame, 94-92. Winner of this wins a title. How about that? Crosses over, got the strike. Big shot for the Tigers.
Some relief there, it's over.
Right.
My job's done. Before Emily's shot, we saw Lauren give her a little pump up. It was just enough. Just what she needed.
Emily Miller answers. Now who can throw the double on? Who can put the pressure on with the double? It's Anastasia Meyer. Hang on. And that not an easy conversion with that 8-pin behind. It leaves the 1-3-8. And Justine, her last shot, went wildly left. Let's see if she straightened it out. It does. Goes up the boards, crosses over, and gets the 10-pin out. Hang on, she's got a chance. Got it. Way to take out that 8 in the back. What a shot by Meyer. Can Goodwin answer? Needs to slide. It does. Found the skid. Went to the spare ball.
Doesn't seem like either one of these teams is going to give it to the other one.
No.
They're both in it to win it.
Yep. A little high. Does she get a break? Depends on if she likes shooting 10 pins or not, whether or not that was a break, right? Got one of them out. I guess from a pin count perspective, it certainly is helpful. Jaros needs to hook.
She does a nice job of getting the ball out on the lane.
Yeah.
Doesn't loft it. It's not thrown into the foul line.
This is very similar to last game, right? I mean, this is going to go down to the last frame and who can pick up spares. It's a one-pin game right now. That's got to slide, and it slid right by. And so now you see Jaros talking to coach. 3 boards left. Is that what or 3 boards right with my feet? 4 and 1 right. And she said 3 boards right, move the 3, finishes high. Does she get them both? That is a big conversion.
You know, it's such a great thing, too, to see these high school athletes who know the sport well enough to know adjustments like 4 and 1.
Right. Crosses it, gets the 5-pin out of there, and that is a big save there. And really what that means is a spare. Good count, first of all, good count, and a spare by Claire Jaros. And this is over. Check that by Maddie Conrad. Maddie up the boards. Ooh, got that 8-pin out late. So now has a 4-7 left and needs to convert. So this is a must spare here. Pius already 150, must spare. Has to have this, it needs to slide, get out there, and that will do it. So for the 3rd consecutive year, the Pius 10th Thunderbolts have won a Class B Girls State Championship. And just for good measure, Maddie Conrad cleans it up, and going to his bench is Matt Conrad, and we get our first look here at Kayana Rabin. Kayana Rabin here. Straight up the boards. Very fundamental with the line. 9. And that will do it. The Thunderbolts in 5 have won a state championship over the Tigers. Handshakes from both sides. 169-149 the final in game number 5. When we come back, we'll hear from the head coach of the Thunderbolts.
Funding for the NHSBF State Championships was provided by the Lincoln Bowling Association through grants from the Alan and Marcia Bear Foundation and the Nebraska High School Bowling Federation. Reminding you that more than 1,000 high school students compete statewide in varsity bowling.
All right, college visit number 2. Here we go. What?
Learn more from Education Quest at govisitcollege.org.
Back at Sun Valley Lanes in Lincoln, Nebraska, the Pius 10th Thunderbolts are the Class B state champs. Our first 5-game Baker match of the day. The Bolts won 169-149 in the 5th. Let's go down on the floor to Carlo.
Lauren, congratulations. You're a senior. This is your 3rd consecutive state title. What does this mean to you?
It's a It's a great honor. Actually, it's a great experience I have with my friends, and a lot of us have been on that team for 3 years, so it's really great. And I'm very excited to have everyone that's bowled with us and just have a great fun time with it too. Yeah.
And Coach, you've got 3 seniors on your team. What does it mean to be able to send them out with their 3rd consecutive state championship?
Oh, I think it's a great thing. This program, we've taught fundamentals, and those seniors, they bring it every time they come onto the lanes, and it's been a pleasure to coach them.
Well, congratulations to Pius. Larry, back to you.
All right, thanks very much. Appreciate that, Carla. Congratulations once again to the Thunderbolts. They are the 3-time state champs, first school in Class B girls competition to win 3 consecutive state championships. And now for the introduction of players and the medals and trophy presentations. Let's go to our public address announcer. Here's Dwayne DeMode.
How about another fine round of applause for our 2 finalists? Your Class B girls runner-ups, the Hastings Senior High Tigers. Coach Kent. Bethany Giddison. Ashley Sharp. Anastasia Meyer. Julian Detman. Elizabeth Gleason. Natalia Kleinjohn. Ladies, here's your runner-up trophy. Congratulations to Hastings Senior High Tigers, your Class B girls runner-up. Now for your Nebraska Class B Girls State Champions, Pius X Thunderbolts. Coach Matt Conrad. Lauren Berkey. Emily Miller. Justine Goodwin. Claire Jaros. Madeline Conrad. Kiana Rayban. Anna Winnicamp. Ladies, here's your championship trophy. Congratulations, the Pius X Thunderbolts, your girls Class B state champions.
So congratulations once again to the champs in Class B, the Pius X Thunderbolts, for the 3rd consecutive year. Class A is coming up. It's Kearney and Grand Island when we come back to Sun Valley Lanes.
Whether it's spring planting, fall harvesting, or just a drive across the state, soy biodiesel helps a diesel-powered engine operate in a demanding job. Soybean oil from Nebraska soybeans makes biodiesel a renewable fuel that's also environmentally responsible. The soybean checkoff plays a major role in supporting the use and availability of biodiesel. The Nebraska Soybean Board, growing opportunity from the ground up.
How did I let myself do it? Being disappointed in yourself.
You're trying to go to sleep and it's on your mind of why do I do it, why do I do it?
Because I know it's going to happen, and then I do it anyway.
Going from this ecstatic high to this regret.
You do feel silly because you could have walked away.
Feeling guilt and how stupid you could be, just feeling gullible.
You feel like you're an idiot, basically.
Funding for the NHSBF State Championships was provided by the Lincoln Bowling Association through grants from the Alan and Marcia Bear Foundation and the Nebraska High School Bowling Federation. Reminding you that more than 1,000 high school students compete statewide in varsity bowling.
Welcome back to Sun Valley Lanes in Lincoln, Nebraska. The Class A Girls State Championship up next. And now to show you the lineups for both of these teams, for both the Bearcats of Kearney High School and also the Islanders of Grand Island. We take a look at first Kearney, and Robbie Samuelson is the head coach. Crystal Hartman is a senior. Elena Peterson is sophomore. Three other seniors on the team, Nielsen, Cole, and Perez. McDonald is just a freshman, and the sophomores are Peterson and Marcellus, Lizzie Marcellus. That's a look at the Bearcats starting lineup, and now the lineup for Grand Island Senior High School and Wood River. It's a combination between GI Senior High and Wood River. Lakota Erbauer is just a freshman. Grace Walder is a junior, along with Kaylee Rapp, Andrea Rhodes, Audie Ernest, Brittany Baker, and Cheyenne Erbauer, the senior. We'll talk more about her and her story throughout the broadcast. That's a look at the starting lineups for this Class A state championship. When we come back, live action from here at Sun Valley Lanes. Stay with us.
No matter how you look at it, animal agriculture helps Nebraska's economy. The livestock industry provides increased tax revenues for schools and community services. Livestock enterprises also create jobs while contributing to existing businesses such as local banks and grocery stores. A thriving livestock industry helps maintain our current way of life, but also provides opportunities for the next generation of farm families. The Nebraska Soybean Checkoff helps to raise awareness of the importance of animal agriculture to Nebraska.
Funding for the NHSBF State Championships was provided by the Lincoln Bowling Association through grants from the Alan and Marcia Bear Foundation and the Nebraska High School Bowling Federation. Reminding you that more than 1,000 high school students compete statewide in varsity bowling.
Your car has been with you a long time, through the months and years. Now it's time to let it go. Donate it. Support the programming you love.
NET Sports brings you all the action from the NSAA State High School Swimming and Diving Championships Saturday, February 25th from the Devaney Sports Center in Lincoln beginning at 11 a.m. Central on NET. Live streaming is available at netnebraska.org and on the NET Nebraska app.
From Omaha to Chimney Rock, Valentine to Beatrice, the NET member card is your key to savings and adventure. Use your member card at participating restaurants, wineries, and performing arts venues. When you travel throughout the state, you can also save on lodging and attractions. Explore all the benefits online, with the mobile app, or in the directory. The NET member card, a great return on your investment in NET. Thank you.
Time now for the Class A state championship between the Bearcats of Kearney High and Grand Island Wood River. Wasting no time here is Kearney High School. A little left on the first shot by Jasmine Cole, so now up on the right-hand lane is number 3, Andrea Rhodes. Rhodes, the leadoff bowler for Grand Island Wood River. Here's Jasmine Cole. She's a senior, averages 143. Bowled for 13 years. And nice cover by Jasmine Cole. And a nice cover as well by Andrea Rhodes. First time in the history of the Nebraska High School Bowling Federation that a Lincoln school has not been in the finals of the girls' Class A state championship. I was surprised to see that when we were looking back through the records. Every year, at least one school from Lincoln had made the finals, but this year it was Kearney knocking off Lincoln North Star in the semifinals. And Grand Island beat North Platte. High flush and the carry.
Great shot for Lakota.
Absolutely. Dakota Erbauer. She plays softball, first year on the team. Her sister is Cheyenne. We'll talk about Cheyenne throughout the broadcast. Really a tragic story for this Grand Island team that they've had to deal with throughout the year. Missing the conversion is Lizzie Marcellus. So back up on the right lane here is Grace Cadwalder. And Cadwalder just a little bit light. Final state championship of the day here in Class A. We've had some good ones. Of course, earlier this morning, Plainview knocked off St. Cecilia. It was Adams Central in 3 over Boone Central. And you just finished watching the Pius 10th girls hold on and knock off a very game Hastings team 169 to 149. Cadwalder gets 3 of the 4, so the first open there for Grand Island. McKenzie.
Important to get the count there on that split. It's a split that's hard to make, and so you really want to make sure that you get as much as you can. So going for those 2 pins is a smart move.
That was Elena Pedersen on that left-hand lane for Kearney High School, and right there with that shot is Kaylee Rapp. Just Kaylee's second year on the team. Back up, Mackenzie Nielsen. Nielsen is a senior. She tugs that a bit left. And here is Rapp. Just slides by. Back-to-back opens for GI. So an opportunity here for Kearney to get back in.
Absolutely. You know, Kaylee's a young bowler, but her high game is a 267 and a 764 high series.
Wow.
Not bad at all.
Good effort there, but the 3 only gives them 44 in the 4th. So still 12 pins down. It's a good looking shot. It's going to come up just a bit high, but trips out the 7 and the 10, leaves the 6 pin.
Ernest, another one for Grand Island, who is a strong player. She's got a high game of 266 and a high series of 680.
These spares just so important in these state championship games, and you can see Ernest is a little upset with herself. There'll be other opportunities. 3 consecutive opens there for Grand Island. And now 4 straight opens, including 2 splits for Kearney. So one of these teams is going to settle in here in a second. We've talked about this throughout the day. It's a little bit different in this environment,
Absolutely.
right? Yeah.
Absolutely. It's okay to take a moment and just get the nerves out, make your shots. You know, it's take a breath and take it all in for a moment, but just focus on the things that you can control.
Andrea Rhodes crosses over. Is she going to get pin action? She does, but still leaves the 1-3 remain. And Jasmine Cole right up on cue again. Tries to trip out that 5 pin, still standing. Here is Andrea Rhodes. Hey, just got that head pin. Did the sophomore.
Kearney's coach Robbie talked yesterday about the seniors on this team and how welcoming the seniors have been to the younger girls on the team and really mentoring them and bringing them into the fold of the team and making a cohesive team.
This is a really young team as well for Grand Island. You know, a freshman, 2 sophomores, 3 juniors. This entire team from Grand Island will be back next year. Of course, that's not their focus right now. Their focus is on winning a state title right here. But as we look ahead, it's a very young and talented team from Grand Island. So up on the left-hand lane now for GI is Lakota Erbauer.
Almost makes that spare.
Very close.
Gave it a good run.
For the freshman.
Lizzie up for cross country, or up for Kearney, excuse me, is also a cross country athlete. She runs track, she's in the band, and she's in the choir.
We've seen that throughout the day, haven't we? Just really impressive young student athletes who are very involved in their school, find a way to manage time away from school, get their homework done, keep up good grades, and be very active in school and other events.
Absolutely.
Great representatives of the Nebraska High School Bowling Association is Cadwalder with the strike there. Cadwalder, just a junior as well for GI. Work left to do with the 2-7 from Elena Pedersen. Pedersen's just a sophomore.
Just a sophomore with a high game of 248. So
wow.
she's got a couple years left of high school bowling, and we'll see some good scores out of her over the next 2 years.
Looked like a good shot by Rapp. I think she just maybe got a bad wrap there. Came a little high. Needs to hook, and it does. Great cover. Nice job by Pedersen. So a tight game here still, thanks to that split conversion. Good idea to get 1 on the strike. 1 is worth 2, but the open of the 9th frame, we'll see how costly that might become, because a mark here by Kearney would give the Bearcats the lead. Ooh, tough leave from Mackenzie Nielsen. And now up the anchor bowler, Audie Ernst. And Audie Ernst leaves the 6 pin, comes up a bit high. Now a really important spare conversion here. This could give Kearney the lead. Can she get it over there? Maybe. Ooh, the messenger almost delivered. Well, that really makes it tight. 118-112 now. Grand Island holds on to the lead, so a spare here would force a double for Kearney, and she does get the spare. So now stepping up as the anchor bowler for the Bearcats, that's Crystal Hartman. Check that for Kearney. That crosses over. There is Ernst. And they will take game 1 with that shot. That's enough to do it. That will shut out the Bearcats. And Grand Island Wood River has taken game number 1 here in this best-of-5 Baker final. And the open frame makes the final 138-121. Grand Island wins it.
You know, these two teams are travel buddies.
Right.
Coach Robbie Samuelson told me yesterday about the Kearney girls having a 5-4 record. She said we just are sort of the middle of the pack all season, and so that really adds to their excitement of making it here to this final match. It was something that they hoped for, maybe didn't expect, but are really thrilled to have the opportunity to be here.
So here's Rhodes on that left-hand lane number 27 with the sleeper back there, and does not convert, so an open frame for GI to begin. Man, the strike for Lakota Erbauer. It's a couple of strikes now for Lakota, just a freshman.
Already has architecture on the mind for what she wants to major in when she goes to college.
Is she going to get the break? Doesn't quite. You saw those 2 pins fall, and the head pin did not fall, so she has the 110 left, which becomes a very difficult washout to convert. Wow, what a beautiful shot on the left-hand lane. Cadwalder knocks them all down. And that's a double for Grand Island. Puts even more pressure here on the Bearcats. We talked about the co-op between Grand Island and Wood River. There's also a co-op between Kearney and Axtell, and what a shot there. What a great conversion. Happens to get it up the hill and just left it a little short, and kind of a weak 10. And she's like, oh, that was so close. Second in a row where she's been right around the pocket. It's one of those where maybe just a slight movement, a slight, maybe 2-1 right adjustment. Try to stay ahead of the move. Like her finish position. Has very good fundamentals, does Kaylee Rapp, just a junior. Crossover, got the strike. First ever appearance here in these state finals for Kearney. Boy, they survived a 5-set thriller just to get through the opening round of bracket play. Kearney won, knocked off Columbus in 5. They went down two games to none. Came back and won the 3rd, 4th, and 5th game, and won that 5th game 186-181 to advance into the semifinals, where they then knocked off North Star. Audie needs to hang on and doesn't quite stay on the lane. So Ernest with the open in the 5th after the double. They put together back-to-back strikes to kind of get back in this, especially with Grand Island going back-to-back opens. Well, there you see that jersey that's going to be carried from one chair across the lane to the other chair, and that is the jersey of Cheyenne Erbauer. And many around the bowling community, and certainly in Grand Island, know the story of Cheyenne. She was in a car accident one morning early before a bowling match was scheduled to happen with this team here, Kearney, and Cheyenne was killed in that car accident. Just a tragic loss for not only Grand Island and the school, but this bowling team and that entire community, and really the entire Nebraska High School Bowling Federation felt that loss. She had been such an integral part of that team for so long, and now her sister, who is sitting right there next to that jersey, number 8, Lakota Erbauer, has stepped in and now bowling on the team and in the starting lineup. So you've heard us talk about Lakota, but it was really the community that came together and supported what just is an unimaginable difficulty, tragedy to deal with so early in the season at any time.
the team had sweatshirts made to honor Cheyenne that said, a team with something to play for can be dangerous, but a team with someone to play for is unstoppable. And you can tell that these girls are really motivated to honor Cheyenne by being successful here.
Crystal Hansen said it was just an unimaginable pain that she had to share the news with the rest of the team when discussing Cheyenne's death in that car accident. And she really doesn't have words to describe her appreciation and really the entire team's appreciation to everyone across the Nebraska High School Bowling Federation, and especially those in Class A, just the level of support that has been given to Lakota, her sister, the entire team, support they've shown. North Platte wore ribbons in her honor all year. Kearney has the same wristbands that each of the girls wear, and says she received kind words and cards from every team across the Nebraska High School Federation, and says she's just really proud of what the girls have been able to accomplish and achieve in dealing with that tragedy and that loss. And through that tragedy and through that loss, as you say, when you have someone to play for, that has really been kind of the bond that's led them to this point today.
Absolutely. And you talk about the community and the way they all rallied around this team to support them in this tragic situation. Kearney girls decided they needed to do something to support Cheyenne's family, and so they organized a bake sale at their first home meet and raised $500 for her family, just to help them in whatever way they could.
Wow.
With what was going on.
Well, they continue to honor her today with her jersey here, and certainly present with this team as they try to knock out a second consecutive state championship. Of course, Grand Island is the defending state champ. Cheyenne was part of that team. This is a strong GI program. That's a good shot there. Just nearly got out the 7-pin. Cadwalder. This is a team that's won 3 state titles previously. They won it in 2005, 2010, 2016, and now trying to go back to back. That just slides by. .145, 108. Kaylee Rapp, another single pin. She's thinking they have to at some point all fall down, right?
When you talk about the experience that the Grand Island team has, I asked Coach Robbie of the Kearney team, how do you think they're going to do on live TV? Or on TV, not live TV, but on TV, it's a different experience. And she said, I don't even know if they've thought about it. They're just excited to be there. And sometimes that's an advantage to sort of not be thinking about the big moment, but just live in the excitement and make good shots.
Well, there is something to the whole you don't know what you don't know, right?
Absolutely.
You don't know what you're going into and how big the moment can be. Maybe it doesn't affect you as much.
Seems to be working well for them this game.
Yes, it does. 145, 127 in the 9th, and this is one that will go Kearney's way. So after this, it will be 1-1. One win for Grand Island and one for Kearney.
Nothing hurt there.
To cover it up, and does. So potential 147 if Ernest can strike here. Already on the board for Kearney is 163. So after shooting 121 the first game, they come back and rebound nicely with that 163. Good shot. Bit of positive muscle memory and positive thoughts there as they head into game number 3, all even at 1 apiece. There you see the scores. Grand Island won the first. Kearney comes back and takes game number 2. Crystal Hansen is the head coach of this Grand Island Wood River team. She actually bowled for Gish back in high school before coming back to coach the varsity team 4 years ago. She's assisted by Don Prawl and Brad Ernest. And the proprietor there in Grand Island is Terry Fredrickson, a good friend of the Nebraska High School Bowling Federation at West Side Lanes. Those proprietors just mean so much to these high school bowlers in allowing them the time to practice and prepare. And
that's one of those things as a youth bowler. I don't know if you understand everything about that the proprietor's willingness to have teams come in and practice,
right,
and perhaps use some lanes, and sometimes they don't even charge them for that. I know looking back, I realize everything that was done for me that I just didn't realize at the time because I was 16 and didn't see the big picture of it all. But those proprietors are definitely an integral part of developing these programs and developing these young bowlers.
And you wonder if even the folks at home understand that the proprietors across the state who run the bowling centers actually give this lineage to the high school bowlers free. So they're giving up time in their centers, in their house, so that they can continue to grow the sport and allow this opportunity for Nebraska High School Bowling Federation bowlers. And it's one of the reasons that the proposal next year is to move this season, the high school bowling season, from a fall sport in which you would have the state championships in February from a winter sport to a fall sport where you would begin in September and then you would end sometime in December. The details around that are still being worked out, and what the classification will look like and what scheduling and what it means to scheduling during the fall. But it's a move that the commissioner, John Lucido, who you see there, has supported and worked with proprietors across the state to get their support.
One thing that proprietors often do as well is are willing to lay down different oil pattern sport shots for the kids to practice on, so that it's mimicking what they're going to see in tournaments, which is really key. If you're playing on a house shot all the time and suddenly you get in a competition and you're expected to bowl in a sport shot, it's a completely different condition to be bowling on. So it's key when those proprietors are willing to take the extra time to lay down a sport pattern for them to practice on.
Cadwalder with the shot and the strike there. That's a great point. Good cover there on the left-hand lane by Elena Pedersen. Back up on the right. Here is Kaylee Rapp, who's been making good shots, just has not been able to carry yet, and doesn't there again. That's a little bit of frustration there you can see in the body language from Kaylee Rapp. I keep making good shots and I'm not striking. You've never experienced that, have you?
Not ever, not once. Always fell down for me. I wish that was true. That's what pushes you to get better, to focus on the fact that you are making good shots. Yeah. And it's going to come for you. You maybe need to make a tweak here or there, but to not let that be the thing that drives you to start making bad shots.
Right. Mackenzie Nielsen here. And a good cover by Nielsen, who also threw about everything she could at that 7-pin. It didn't go. But now the anchor bowler for Kearney will step up. Needs to hook.
Audi is heading to, she can't decide between Hastings or UNO, but she wants to go into science education.
Crossed over, and the strike by Crystal Hartman. And a good cover there. Audi picks it up. And they'll cross lanes again. 74-66, GI with a slight lead, 8-pin. Kearney is working on a strike and could take the lead if they can strike here in this first ball of the second 5 frames. But first it will be on the left-hand lane. Andrea Rhodes.
Andrea talked about that. Cheyenne is really what motivates her to do well. And she said, I don't bowl to knock down pins. I bowl to make Cheyenne and my other teammates proud.
And a strike on the other lane as well. Carney with the double working and an opportunity to make it 3 in a row. Strike here, they take the lead, but that's not going to get back, and they're going to need a lot of pin count to 5 pins, and they are down by 3. Both teams with a strike working in the 6th. Here's Erbauer trying to convert off the wall, can't quite get it.
You know, one thing you notice about bowlers is when they come back from a shot, whether it was a strike, a spare, an open frame, they high-five each other, they support each other. They know that that's key to the next frame, to the next shot that player is going to throw. My dad sometimes would ask me, why do you guys high-five each other even when you have an open frame? Because it's bigger than one frame.
Would you prefer we yelled at each other?
Right, exactly. Don't get mad at me. You know, we're all going to have those moments where it doesn't go the way we want it to go, and you have to be there for each other as teammates.
Cadwalder a little high. She's bowled well for Grand Island.
Absolutely.
Nice shot by Elena Pedersen, the sophomore. That was an important strike, as the open by Grand Island has now given the lead back to Kearney, and this is an important spare here, and chopped. Back-to-back opens for Grand Island. So this could be a 20-pin lead or greater if they strike, and they do. That's a big shot by Mackenzie Nielsen. Wrap. You can tell she's trying to move and find something that's going to work, because she's been in the pocket a few times and not been able to carry, so maybe looking for that spot where she feels comfortable and is going to be able to execute. This is going to cross.
Kaylee's a varsity returner who has earned somehow the nickname Pickles on her team.
Did you ask why?
I should.
Now Pickles covers it up. There you go. Opens the door just a bit here. 182. Nope, that's enough. Even if Grand Island strikes out, and they may, they're still going to lose by 1. 2 more strikes makes it 182-181, and Kearney, thanks to that 5-3, which is so crucial, gives them at least a 1-pin lead at worst. A 1-pin win. And a 2-games-to-1 lead now.
This is one of those moments, too, where even though mathematically you can't win it, for the morale of the team, you want some good shots here, right? You want to keep everybody going, because you've got another game to come. This isn't over after this game. There's more games to throw. And so still being able to throw good shots in that 10th frame, even when mathematically you're out, is just great for keeping everybody positive and keeping everybody in it.
Good cover, so a nice strike and spare to close out the 10th. They will lose it 182-171, and now Kearney has taken a 2-games-to-1 lead after Grand Island jumped out to that early lead. Hey, there's more Nebraska High School Bowling Federation Championships coming up on NET Sports. Nebraska's best high school boys will compete next Sunday, beginning at 8 a.m. Central on NET, on the web at netnebraska.org/sports, and on the NET Nebraska app. And I've been told that in the boys championships that all 4 defending champions are returning to try to win titles again.
That's exciting.
It is exciting.
Strong teams.
Be a good one next week. You'll get to get a sense of the quality of bowling in the state of Nebraska. Some strong teams that we'll see next week.
Like several other athletes that we've seen over the course of this tournament, Andrea's one who's thinking she wants to go into education when she graduates high school.
Do you have any suggestions for those?
I do. Elementary would be awesome. Math, even better.
Spoken like a math teacher. Can we call you a math teacher still?
Absolutely.
All right, okay. I didn't know when you lead the whole curriculum and department. I thought maybe that was more. I thought maybe you had a
Well, I'm not that
more
high
distinguished
up.
title.
I'm not that high up.
Okay. Urbauer comes up a bit high there and leaves the split. So it's going to be back-to-back opens for GI to start here in game number 4.
So as a coach, what do you tell Urbauer to go for?
Well, let's see what the situation here is. You're down. Kearney already has a strike working. If they pick this up, I'm still going to say it's early enough in game number 4 that we need 2 pins here, and especially now.
So go for the 4-7,
Yeah,
the easier.
go to the 4-7. You agree?
Absolutely.
Yeah. So those 2, and you cover the 2. And now you're only down 11. Pedersen in the pocket again. She's been right around the pocket.
And she's been consistent for
Yeah.
her team. She opened her very first frame, but other than that, she's been striking and sparing.
That needs to hook, and it does. Leaves the dinner bucket on the left side. 2-4-5-8. Back-to-back opens for Kearney has opened the door again for Grand Island to tie this up with a spare in a very important game 4 for Grand Island. Good cover. Very nice. Stayed low all the way through it. Cadwalder converts.
You talk about Pedersen being a consistent player for her team. Sometimes that's more important than being the one who can strike every time, but being the one who's reliable on even if they don't get a strike every time, can be the one that you can count on that 9.5 times out of 10, they're going to cover their spare.
And coaches always struggle with, giving equal time to everyone in practice and trying to develop everyone equally, but it's so important to develop those who are in your 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, and 7th position, because rising their game is going to elevate the level of your entire team. Sometimes when you elevate the level of your high-end bowlers at the exclusion of the others, you're actually hurting your team.
Well, it's the kind of thing that it may help you in a team game when everybody's throwing their own games, but in a situation like this, that the best bowler on your team still only has 2 frames to bowl.
Right. Now, good shot, just a little high and leaves the 4-pin. So Hartman will have that to give Kearney back-to-back marks in the 4th and 5th. And this is an important shot here to try to get some momentum going, and leaves a 10-pin.
Ernest does a great job with that follow-through. She's got it straight out in front of her. Her wrist is facing the pins, which is the way you want it to have your follow-through looking. She's not off to the right with her elbow out. She's not too far inside, but it's straight out in front of her.
So good cover by Hartman. And that's 3 marks in the first 5 frames for Kearney, and GI needs this one to stay close, and that's their 2nd mark. So they will flip sides here in game number 4. 54-43, Kearney on top. This is our final state championship match of the morning here on NET. We've crowned state title winners in Class D, C, and B, and now finally in Class A. Kearney looking for its first ever. Nice conversion. Solid shot by Jasmine Cole, the senior. Now Rhodes needs this to keep pace. Good cover.
Lizzie credits her persistence as one of the strengths of her game. Another one of those things you can't teach.
Yeah, absolutely.
Has to come from them.
Yep. Gonna slide just by. So a bit of a break there for GI, which really needs now this spare to even this back up. And here is Lakota Erbauer. And a great cover by Erbauer. Just gets the side of that 4-pin. And that was an important shot right there. Here is Pedersen. 1-2-8 left for Pedersen. Strike here, cuts it to within 2 pins. Oh, great ball. Just did not get it to carry. I'm impressed with Grace Cadwalder's game. A little bit. Oh, look at that. Great break. Important spare here now for Grand Island. Cadwalder needs to hang on. Dig. Woo. Just caught enough of those dry boards that it hooked a bit and sat right there.
She throws a beautiful shot, and girls on both of these teams have talked about and credited their coaches for helping them improve their game and the time that they put in to work on the fundamentals and drills and helping them pick out the things that maybe they can't see themselves but can work on.
Mackenzie Nielsen comes in just a bit high. Important shot here for Rapp. She'd like to get something going here. Been right around the pocket all morning. Just keep picking up those spares. They find themselves in a game here, down by just 3. And a good cover by Mackenzie Nielsen. It's going to put all the pressure here on the anchor bowler for Grand Island. And a good cover there. Rapp has been solid. Rapp won a state title last year with GI, trying to do it again. Cross is over. So an opportunity here for Grand Island to strike twice and win this. This is a must strike for Audie. And does not get it. Not done yet.
She's another one who has a really great follow through and sticks with it. Her brother, her older brother Blake, has bowled for 14 years and currently is on the team at Hastings College.
And that is a terrific cover. And now a must spare here. Otherwise, Kearney wins a title. Good cover. So now it's going to come down to pin count. Right now, Kearney has a 4-pin lead. And if Kearney can get 7 pins here, they are state champs. 7 pins for the first ever state title, and they got it. I'm surprised they're not jumping up and down out of the chair.
Right?
They're being maybe being respectful. And that will do it. 157-153 is the final, and that is the first ever state championship for the Kearney girls. So congratulations to the Kearney girls. When we come back, we'll hear from the coach and players. Stay with us right here on NET.
Everyone's walking a path, and most paths are best walked together. Because when we travel together, our lives are livelier, our journey more enjoyable, and the places we'll discover will be simply spectacular. To be in a place like no other that unites you all in a state of wonder. Wouldn't that be nice?
Funding for the NHSBF State Championships was provided by the Lincoln Bowling Association through grants from the Alan and Marcia Bear Foundation and the Nebraska High School Bowling Federation. Reminding you that more than 1,000 high school students compete statewide in varsity bowling.
How did I let myself do it? Being disappointed in yourself.
You're trying to go to sleep and it's on your mind of why do I do it, why do I do it?
Because I know it's going to happen, and then I do it anyway.
Going from this ecstatic high to this regret.
You do feel silly because you could have walked away.
Feeling guilt and how stupid you could be. Just feeling gullible.
You feel like you're an idiot, basically.
We're back at Sun Valley Lanes in Lincoln, Nebraska. Kearney has just won its first ever state championship. And for more, let's go down on the lanes to Carla Vandermeer.
Jasmine, you stayed clean through the entire match. All strikes, all spares. Talk to me about how difficult that is in a situation like this.
It's tough on you, and you just know that you're working hard and going through it, and you practice it, and just work hard.
And it pays off for you. Congratulations. And Coach, I know this has been an emotional season for you and for your team. This is the first state championship for Kearney. Describe how this feels for you.
It's awesome. How else could it be? Just the girls worked really hard and pulled together just at the right time.
Absolutely. Well, congratulations. Larry, we'll send it back to you.
All right, thanks very much, and congratulations once again to Kearney. They are the state champs, the first ever state champs, and now for more our medal and trophy presentations, let's go to our public address announcer. Here's Dwayne DeMode.
Let's give both of our competitors one more round of applause. Now for your Class A girls state runner-up, the Grand Island Wood River Islanders. Coaches Crystal Hansen and Brad Ernst. Andrea Rhodes. Lakota Erbauer. Grace Cadwalder. Kaylee Rapp. Audie Ernest. Brittany Baker. Ladies, here's your runner-up trophy. Congratulations, Grand Island Wood River Islanders. Your Class A girls runner-up. Now for your Class A girls state champions, the Kearney High School Axtell Bearcats. Coach Robbie Samuelson. Jasmine Cole. Lizzie Marcellus. Elena Peterson. Mackenzie Nielsen. Crystal Hartman. Ladies, here's your championship trophy. Congratulations to the Kearney High School X-Tail Bearcats, your Nebraska Class A Girls State Champions.
Well, congratulations once again to Kearney, the state champs. We have crowned 4 state champions today. Plainview in Class D, Adams Central wins it in C, Pius X with their 3rd straight in Class B, and finally today it was Kearney winning that school's first ever Girls State Bowling Championship in Class A. So that will do it for the Girls State Championships. I'm Larry Putney for Caleb Vandemer and our entire NET Sports production crew. Thanks so much for joining us. For the Nebraska High School Girls Bowling Federation Championships, we'll see you next week right here on NET Sports.
Funding for the NHSBF State Championships was provided by the Lincoln Bowling Association through grants from the Alan and Marcia Baer Foundation and the Nebraska High School Bowling Federation. Reminding you that more than 1,000 high school students compete statewide in varsity bowling.
For me, asking why is just getting started.
It's more than an activity. It's me doing what I love.
I'm not a stereotype. When I rewrite the rules, things get better.
I know that all these experiences matter.
These moments will help me become something more.
Little things always lead to something bigger.
Do it.
Trek it.
Earn it.
What you're doing now will help you get scholarships later. Find resources from Education Quest at trackyoursuccess.org.